Hi, and welcome to day 4 of the 30-day no sugar challenge. Some of you who are watching this might not have actually signed up for the challenge, which you can do here. If you see the address down there, you can just sign up there, and what will happen is that you will start from day 1. Doesn't mean that you have to go back, but every day you will get a little email with me with some sort of action step that you can take, and I will just help you through this challenge. It could be some extra motivation for those of you who want to do that. And if not, that's fine, that's totally up to you. Today, I'm going to talk about how to read food labels very quickly, very basic, but there are a couple of things that I want you to be aware of. So I have a bottle of cream here. You won't be able to see the label, so I'm going to put it up on the screen in a second. But when I'm reading the label here, what it says is that you have per serving 20 milliliters. So you need to be aware of that the first column that you read is how many grams of sugar or carbohydrates a serving contains. And a serving can be as little as 5 to 10 grams of some certain type of food up to 100 grams or more, totally depending on what type of food you are looking at. So you need to be aware of whether something is high sugar or not. It's very dependent on how many grams of sugar or carbohydrates there is in 100 grams of the food. Now, if you're only going to eat 5 grams of the food, it's probably not a problem. But let's say 20 milliliters. Is that a serving of cream? I don't know. It depends on what you have the cream for. If you're eating it with some berries, maybe you're going to eat more. If you're having a little bit in your coffee, you might have a bit less, or you might have 20 milliliters. So it's not a lot, but we want to have a look. And what it says is carbohydrates per serving 0.7 grams. And then per 100 milliliters is 3.3 grams. So it's not a high carb food. It's alright if you do dairy, which we're going to talk about tomorrow. So cream is actually okay from that point of view. And then we have barbecue sauce. So this is terrible, I'm telling you already. So I'm going to show you this label as well because you won't be able to see it on the camera. So here we go. Servings per pack is 38 and the serving size is 15 grams. Now, how much is that? 15 grams, it might be a tablespoon, maybe a little bit more, maybe 2. But when I'm having barbecue sauce on my pork ribs, I definitely have more than 1 serving, just to let you know. So, 1 serving contains 4.6 gram carbohydrates, of which 4.2 grams is sugar. Now, per 100 gram is 30.7 grams of carbohydrates or 27.9 grams of sugars. What that means is that 30.7% of barbecue sauce is actually carbohydrates, or 27.9% is actually pure sugar. So this is a terrible food. You really do not want to eat a lot of barbecue sauce, and especially not when you are doing this challenge, because that is going to trip you up. Only 1 serving, what did I say, was 4.6 grams of carbs. So if you're having 2 or 3 servings, you're getting 10 and 15 grams of carbohydrates just from barbecue sauce. And you think that you are actually sugar-free when all you wanted was to have a little bit of sauce on your spare ribs. So make your own. You can make your own barbecue sauce, sugar-free. You could use a little bit of some sweetener. I'm not a huge fan of them, and we're going to cover them in a couple of days. But you could use something like stevia or erythritol or something like that that is non-caloric, and if it sits well with you. And just make your own barbecue sauce if you need to have barbecue sauce. Ideally, you will stay away from the sweeteners as well, but I'm not going to go into that today. But just be aware of what I want you to pay attention to is how many grams of carbs there is in percentage, as in per 100 gram, that is the same as percentage, or per serving, because per serving is totally irrelevant, because a serving is never a serving. If you look, now I don't have any cereal in the house, but if you have been eating like cornflakes or any other type of cereal, serving sizes are usually 25 to 30 grams. And if I'm filling a bowl up, I'm easily eating 4 to 5 servings of that cereal. So a serving size is totally irrelevant. I'm going to get a much higher carbohydrate load than what I might think that I will get. So a lot of the time on the front of the package it might say only 6 grams of carbs, and that is per serving. So be very, very careful with that when you are looking at what to buy and where to reduce your amount of carbohydrates. So stick with the real food. As I've said, I prefer if it doesn't look like food, if it's packaged, if it has a long ingredient list, it's probably not good for you, so just stay away from that. Having said all that, if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel yet, can you please do so? Help my channel grow. I would really appreciate that. Give the video a thumbs up if you are liking the videos, and share it with anyone you know that you think might benefit from this sort of advice. I will see you again tomorrow when we're going to talk about dairy.